Hi everyone, my name is Yukta Rakesh and I'm a sophomore here at Dougherty Valley High School. Now to begin this talk, I'd like to show you a few pictures. Just keep those at the back of your mind and we'll come back to them later. Now everyone has this saying they go by in life, and here's mine: live life in the moment. That can mean a lot of different things for a lot of different people. But through this talk, I hope to explain my perspective and will maybe even change yours. So let me ask you something. How do you define the greatness of life? Is how much money you have? What car you drive? What college you went to? Well, here's something I feel is always overlooked, and that is how many great memories you've made along the way. With the basic math skills we're all equipped with, I can deduce that life is just the sum of the good and bad moments. Scientifically, I'm sure there's a much more complicated explanation, but emotionally, that's what it boils down to. Now, I'm 15 years old, so I've been through more than half of my schooling career by now. And from what I know, high school is definitely the most influential of them all, positively and negatively. In elementary school, you have kids, and that's how you define them, from kindergartners to fifth graders. And then in middle school, you have preteens, 6th to 8th, and the only difference is one is coming in or one is leaving. And then comes high school, this big confusing time for everyone. You have freshmen who are baby teenagers coming into this brand new world, and then you have seniors who are basically adults, leaving to follow their passions, go to college, and do these things in the world by themselves. High school is the most important time of a teenager's life, the time you grow emotionally, mentally, the time to find your passions, and it's the perfect time to make all these amazing memories. But how is that possible when we're put in such a negative environment? 1 in 5 teens are clinically depressed because of anxiety and stress from everyday life. Teenagers are now officially the most stressed group in America. A healthy range is about a 3.9 out of 10, whereas teenagers are about a 5.8. In the eyes of most teenagers, high school is just 4 years of stress and no sleep. Teenage Post, one of the most popular teenage accounts on the internet, that depicts the negative connotation of stress, or high school. So much stress, so much homework, getting in trouble for no reason. It's just this big dead end. Now, so what exactly is stress? Well, it can be defined in a very simplistic manner, and that is when it's the body's response to any demand, including change. So if you think about this, it means that every moment that you're alive comes with change. Not 2 moments back to back would be the same, meaning every second that you're alive has the potential to bring you stress. But 50 to 70% of our days are considered stress-free. So we have the potential to be in this stress-free state. But when we're put in high-demand situations, our body tends to give into the stress, and we become in this stress state. Now, I found a very simplistic way to define stress for my everyday life, and that is when the mind and body is not connected. Now, I'm not trying to get all spiritual here, but just think about what this means. It means thinking about a math test while doing a history project. It means thinking about the bad grade you got last time or writing the test now. It means holding on to the Ivy League dream in the middle of an English essay. It means you're not living in the moment. Most people today either sit regretting the past or stressing about the future. And this means one of 2 things. Number 1, you're a magician and can tell the future, which is awesome. Or number 2, while stressing about a moment that hasn't even happened yet, you ruined the perfect moment right in front of you. So take a couple seconds to think of a moment that you deem worthy. Just anything that comes to your mind first. Now, I'm no mind reader, but I know a couple things about what you're thinking. Number 1, it was a time when you gave it your all. And number 2, it was a time when you didn't think about the past or the future, just what was happening at that moment. This is something called mindfulness. Now, we've been told to be mindful our entire life. And when I was a little girl, this meant not throwing food at the dinner table and being mindful of the people around me. But as I've grown older, I found a much greater perspective to what being mindful really means. In fact, there's a science behind it. Buddhist monks have practiced this idea of mindfulness in their intense days of meditation. Now, we don't have time to sit around for a couple days and do yoga, but we can incorporate this into our busy schedule. The idea of mindfulness goes as follows. It's when your emotions, your thoughts, and your actions are in sync, meaning what you're feeling, what you're doing, and what you're thinking are together as one. Practicing mindfulness doesn't just give you all these opportunities to make these good moments, because practically that won't get you too far in life, but it does have health benefits. It can help increase your memory, attention, and concentration span. It can help boost your immunity, and most obvious of all, it can help reduce stress and anxiety. Just taking a couple seconds to block out any distractions and thinking about what you're doing in that moment can help you live a longer and healthier life and can help you overcome obstacles along the way. I mean, how cool is that? Here's how I think of it. Life is just moments after moments after moments. On each moment, there's a lock, and you have a key. Within each moment, there's a little bit of energy, a little bit of emotion, experience, a little bit of life. And as you walk along this path, you can stop and absorb the things going on around you, or you can swiftly move past it and ignore these wonderful moments. You can think about them like points on a test. If you don't get a question, you'll just say, "It's okay, I'll get the next one." Unfortunately, in order to get that 100%, you have to get everything done correctly. Coming back to life, in order to live a fulfilled life, you must stop along these moments, or you're going to look back and find a big, empty, black void. So let's go back to the pictures we saw earlier, but this time try to think of an emotion that correlates with it. A setting sun in the background of the Eiffel Tower in Paris. How serene. A lioness and her cub in the depths of the African Serengeti. How lovely. The spiral of the Milky Way galaxy is seen through the valleys of Nepal. How vast. African kids looking at the iPad for the first time. How happy. The Indian festival of color, the festival of Holi. How colorful. A Syrian girl holding her hands up to a camera because she thought it was a gun. How sad. Now, was there a difference between the first time we saw it versus the second time? And if the answer is yes, here's why. The first time we saw the pictures, we just saw them as, well, pictures. But the second time we saw them as emotions, as moments of life. These pictures came to life. Now, we as humans call ourselves the superior species in the animal kingdom. We're the ones with the intelligent brains, the innovation, technology, yet we are the only species capable of self-destruction. How shameful. You look around the world and you ask yourself, what makes the difference between the great and the common? The great look at life as a challenge and do their best to solve it, while the common look at life almost like a burden and do their best just to live through it. So let us do justice to the nature that has created us, and not just live life, but let's unlock it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and have a wonderful evening.